Now you can go to this one. Yes, it's already. We can have this already.
I do. Because I don't feel the same
Ladies and gentlemen, please settle down. We're about to proceed.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rani Nadeem,
And this is Priya Basit, and we will be your hosts for today.
Today, we are gathered here to celebrate the unwavering strength, boundless dedication, and remarkable achievements of women across all walks of life. International Women's Day is not just a date on the calendar, it is a powerful reminder of the extraordinary contributions women have made to society, shaping the world with their resilience, intelligence, and compassion.
Many have been wondering why we are hosting this event in April. Well, we must acknowledge not one day is designated as Women's Day. Every day is ours. Every day is Women's Day. We as women shape our lives every day, contribute in making the world a better place. Not just one moment, but every moment is nurtured by us.
The idea of awarding women of substance was initiated by Greenhouse Liberty Campus, which has now become a legacy. It was just last year that this award was given the name it was destined to hold. And Mrs. Nasreen Kasuri kindly allowed us to grace the awards by her name. We are extremely proud to announce that this event is being celebrated in all three regions, Karachi, Islamabad, and Lahore simultaneously. As we prepare to continue, with our event, we will start the program with the recitation of a few verses from the Holy Quran. I now call upon Manar Khalid for recitation and Manha Niaz for translation.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان
الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار العزيز الجبار المتكبر سبحان الله عما يشركون.
जैन मिसेस कसूरी आ रही है उनकी फुटेज लगाना जैन आवाज आ रही है जैन कमेंट अभी आपका तो अंदर ही है मैम ठीक है मैम आपने ना आपने मिसेस कसूरी को बस यहाँ से वो बैठा करते रहते ना अंदर मैंने उसको बस मानो कि दिए वो क्या ठीक जी जी जरा जी करेगा बिल्कुल करेगा हाँ हाँ आप यही तो करेंगे यही तो करेंगे आपने कैमरा उधर रखना ठीक स्टेज से ऊपर आनी हो तब वहाँ से लेके गए ठीक है
And a woman of unwavering resilience, Mrs.
Please don't miss this display.
Creating opportunities for countless young minds to flourish and thrive in an ever-evolving world. Her remarkable efforts, she has shattered barriers, defied limitations, uplifted entire communities, and made the
Ladies and gentlemen, may I please request to have a countdown of for our guest of honor, Mr. Nasreen Kasuri has finally cleared. Chief guest Mr. Nasreen Kasuri has finally arrived.
welcome, ma'am.
Mr. Nasreen Kasuri, we are honored to have you here. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated.
It is an immense honor to have a visionary leader, an advocate for education, and a woman of unwavering resilience, Mrs. Nasreen Kasuri, as our esteemed chief guest today. Her foresight and dedication have transformed the way we perceive learning, creating opportunities for countless young minds to flourish and thrive in an ever-evolving world. Through her remarkable efforts, she has shattered barriers, inspired the education, uplifted entire communities, and paved the way for a future where knowledge is the greatest tool for empowerment. Mrs. Kasuri's journey is a testament to the power of perseverance, proving that determination, passion, and a deep sense of purpose, one can create lasting change in society. Thank you, ma'am, for being here with us today.
Before we embrace what lies ahead in our program, it is my privilege to invite our Honorable Principal, Mrs. Tanina Naik, to formally welcome the guests.
Thank you, Rami. Assalamu alaikum to everyone. On behalf of the Central Region Beacon House School System, it is my profound honor and joy to welcome you to this deeply cherished celebration. Ladies and gentlemen, with immense pride and heartfelt reverence, I extend the most special welcome to our chief guest, Mrs. Nasreen Kasuri, the visionary behind Beacon House, whose presence today elevates this occasion beyond celebration into a moment of legacy. Her life's work has lit countless paths, and it is truly an honor to have you here with us, ma'am. Thank you so very much. I take this opportunity to welcome our CEO, Mr. Nasreen Kasuri, Mr. Ali Kasuri, Ms. Fatima Kasuri, and Ms. Sophia Kasuri. I thank you for gracing the occasion, with your presence, and for continuing to inspire us all to dream bigger, lead stronger, and walk with purpose. A warm welcome and sincere thank you also goes to Mr. Ali Ahmad Khan, our Chief Operating Officer. मेरी ज़बान बार-बार Regional Director पे तक जाती है, but you know, Center we cannot be separated from the Central Region ever, I think. Mr. Majid Ali Qureshi, Regional Director Center, who stand as symbols of strength, dignity, and support for all of us. Last but not the least, to all our distinguished guests here present today, your presence adds value, warmth, and meaning to this very special occasion. Today, as we gather here to celebrate International Women's Day, we are reminded of the spirit and the resilience that women bring into every space they occupy. Women's Day at Beacon House has always been more than just an event. It is a heartfelt tradition, a time when we pause to honor the incredible women who nurture, lead, educate, and inspire. Commemorating Women's Day at Liberty Campus has been a meaningful and integral part of our academic engagements, which now has become a legacy. It is an event we take great pride in. And last year here at Liberty Campus, this event found its true name, the Mrs. Nasreen Kasuri Awards. A title that purpose, legacy, and pride. It is more than a tribute. It is a symbol of what one woman's dream can spark across continents. These awards represent the power of recognition, of seeing and celebrating the contributions of women in every role, from classrooms to boardrooms, from creativity to leadership. Each award today is a reminder that when women are uplifted, communities thrive. When women are seen, heard, and appreciated, the world becomes a better place. So let us celebrate not just achievements, but also the stories and the dreams that continue to shape this institution and beyond. Let today be a reaffirmation of our commitment to honor, support, and empower the women among us. Once again, thank you for joining us on this meaningful day, and a very special thank you to Mrs. Nasreen Kasuri for showing us what it truly means to lead with heart. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. From the pioneers who broke barriers to the everyday heroes who balance careers, families, and personal aspirations with grace, women have continuously redefined what is possible. It is an extremely proud moment to introduce our guest of honor, women who have dedicated their lives for education. They represent equality and strength in their respective fields, Ms. Fatma Kasuri and Ms. Sophia Kasuri. We are privileged that today is the day we are also joined by Mr. Qasim Kasuri. Mr. Qasim Kasuri is the CEO of Beacon House and Venom. He founded DNS Beacon House in 2007. He also chairs School of Tomorrow SOT, an event series that aim to explore the future of humanity. Qasim Kasuri's contributions have earned him global recognition, including Young Global Leader at the World Economic Forum from 2009 to 2015. A huge round of applause for him. It is my pleasure to welcome the student choir to present a heartfelt redemption of Mujhe Aalu Jana Hai. It was an exquisite performance, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give them a huge round of applause. It is a day to acknowledge the voices that have shaped history, the hands that have built nations, and the hearts that have nurtured generations. Let's pay tribute to the women of substance.
To highlight the invaluable contributions of women in various fields, we have organized a panel discussion titled Market for Change, a significant segment that will offer deep insights and meaningful conversations on this vital topic. The lead and moderator for our panel talk will be Fatma Khan, an example of young women in leadership. She's her own PLL alumna, coaching public speaking in 2 Beacon institutions and enrolled in Duke of Shan for 120% scholarship for Poly-Econ and Poly-Science. A huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Over to you, Fatma.
Good evening, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and friends. Today, we are gathered here today to celebrate International Women's Day, graciously hosted by Beacon House Liberty Lahore. The theme under this panel discussion is Market for Change, insights and strategies into better market integration for women all around Pakistan. In a world where change is the only constant, our panelists here today are leaders in innovation strategic building for better education of women inside workforce, for children to be better in integration for women all around the world. Thank you so much for joining us today. Our first panelist for today is the respected Ms. Imtiaz. Ma'am is an educator of remarkable dedication and vision. She is the recipient of the Presidential Award in 2020, and her compelling work, I Am Pakistani, is what awarded her this precise award. Of course, her second award is and the Anita Ghulam Ali Award in 2013 for the best teaching practices. In my conversation with her today, I often told her about how teaching is a profession that you must only pursue for passion and passion alone. Thank you so much for joining us today, ma'am. Our second panelist for today is Mr. Musharraf Ali Farooqi, who is a visionary leader whose work in writing and literature has redefined Pakistani storytelling sphere. Sir is an award-winning author, an Urdu literature expert, and a translator. He also was the founder of the Story Kit and Pakistan Spelling, promoting interactive storytelling and literacies. His works include the acclaimed novels and translations, The Adventure of Amir Hamza.
I think Sir's work show how much power words and storytelling truly hold to transform the next generation. Thank you so much for your presence today, sir. And of course, our third panelist for today is Ms. Tabinda Islam. She is the CEO of the Arfa Kareem Group, an entrepreneurship enthusiast and an expert in digital and skill-based learning. She's passionate about fostering innovation and empowering startups through strategic leadership. Your presence here today is monumental, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Starting with you, Mrs. What are your opening remarks on the theme for this event and all of us being gathered here today? Anything to add?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum to all of you. Since I've been in the education sector for more than 50 years, the only thing that I've seen and observed in this time that I've been teaching, writing textbooks and so forth, is that Pakistan is a unique country where women in all fields of life are present. I mean, we wouldn't think that a young country with just 77 years into its existence would be doing all of this. But then we have women in medicine, in engineering, in all fields, right down to flying planes in the Air Force, manning airports, manning all kinds of organizations. So in that sense, I feel that women have not been left behind in Pakistan. And just because I'm so fond and passionate about history, I would say I want to mention two Fatimas. One is, of course, Mohtarma Fatima Jinnah. She stood shoulder to shoulder with her brother in the independence movement for Pakistan. She was a career woman, she was a dentist, and her brother, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, set up a clinic for her to practice in Bombay. And because Qaid Azam wanted women to be shoulder to shoulder in the progress of Pakistan, she was always there, right next to him. The other is Fatma Al-Khairi. She was born in Tunisia and she set up the first university, a Muslim woman who set up the first university in the world. So it was set up in Fez, Morocco. And I see a parallel with her to Mrs. Nasreen Kasuri, because what she did in the 9th century, a Muslim woman setting up a university for the first time in the world. Mrs. Nasreen Kasuri has done that in Pakistan with her school system and her enthusiasm for giving education to all kinds, all status, all social classes. And that is where progress comes in Pakistan. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think ma'am couldn't have spoken truer words, especially because I can personally attest to the fact that the platform you have provided, ma'am, for education has made me be where I am today. And inshallah, one of these days, I want to be one of the 3 Fatmas that you list down.
Yes.
Before we continue with the opening remarks,
Swapping?
the pictures need to be in order, of course. remarks on the theme and us being gathered here today.
Thank you, Fatma. I think we can all agree that as a society, if we are looking at our legal structures, our public and private structures, many hurdles and impediments have been removed from the way of women's progress, and they're joining the workforce and pursuing.
अब आया, अभी आया तो मैंने कुछ भी नहीं किया इसको केबल से डिस्टर्बेंस
I feel that Pakistan lacks system.
ना मैंने उसको
The only way,
चलाने
if I
के
can
लिए
mention the USA now, the only way they function is on systems. And unless these systems are in place, and there is rule of law, there is no way that women cannot get into the highest places of work. They need, in our society, they need transport to get to work, which is very important. Their pay structure has to be far, far more than what it is. I started off in 1973 teaching with 230 rupees. And when I left in 2002, my pay was 8,000. And I was teaching a full day of teaching. Anyway, those days are gone by, but still with inflation, I feel teachers professionally have to be paid more for them to form the best that they can.
I think that idea would resonate well with the audience as well. With that, sir, do you have any points?
I think one important way of addressing these inequalities and the hurdles is to look at the family structure, because whatever we bring to the workplace, and how we act and our demeanor toward our colleagues, male and female, is greatly influenced by how things materialize at home and what is allowed and what is not allowed. So I think we we never discuss that. We just discuss abstract things, that okay, women are having issues. There is a inequality, but where does that inequality stem from? It stems from certain structures which have to be called by their name. So it's mainly the family structure. Are we treating? Do we have, like, for example, in a family where there are two boys and two girls, offspring, um, are they being given equal chance? Or what is the degree of control that's being exercised on their lives by the family? So we discuss these things, but I think if we address, or if we can have a kind of charter of rights within a family, that boys' rights and girls' rights, are they equal or are they not? We can do a study. We have schools, hundreds of schools from Beacon House. You can do a survey that what are your rights in your home? Are you allowed to do certain things? And you can find out the results. And I think if we can have that addressed at an early age, it will again change the complexion of things and will allow people to participate more fully, whether it's workplace or whether pursuing a particular ambition or a job.
I couldn't agree more, especially because I think, sir, you talk about something very integral, that we cannot evolve or fix our economic structures or our market structures insofar as we do not evolve and fix our societal structures. This actually leads me to my next question, which is, what are your solutions, or what do you think, how can we integrate a better acceptance or receptivity of women integration into the workforce in Pakistan societally? Because irrespective of whether we impose quotas or not, or have affirmative action, you still need the employer to be unbiased. And how do we change that as a whole? Ms. Sabita, if you want to start.
Yeah, so I think there are three structural reforms that are required to resolve all of these things. Primarily, it's educational transformation at grassroots level. We need to change a few things. और उस ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन में जो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट रोल है, वो रोल हमारा AI और टेक की इन्वॉल्वमेंट से ही होगा, primarily. So what we did in Alpha Karim Foundation, we trained 25,000 women in the rural areas of the country. And when we went there, so there were certain social taboos and there were social issues. And the households wanted to get the money against the trainings. So we went to provide free trainings, but at the end, I think we paid 35,000 per trainee to their husband or their fathers to send their women for the training. So that was very unfortunate at one side, but at the second side, when we observed the change that occurred, that was big, that was huge, because there's so many women who are working in the underserved areas of the country, and now currently through freelancing and through their e-commerce platforms, they're earning more than $5,000. And they have managed their households so well, and they are now fully equipped with tech. Though they were not fully furnished with the degrees and all the latest IT-based training, but just a boot camp of 30 days or 15 days made the change, life change. Second thing is government level policies. I think the government level policies, we are into the policy making of the government, but I think there's still more work to be done and implementation. So we have so many stakeholders in the government, but when it comes to implementation and when it comes to the proper quality assurance, there are certain things that won't take seriously, maybe, or these are so many. These are not of any importance to us, maybe. And the third thing is to sensitize the community, all the community. Either they are the students who are studying in Beacon House, or they are the students who are studying in educators. I think everybody should be at one single platform to know and to understand the current dilemma that the country is facing, the current problems, the economic and social problems the country is facing, and they should come up with some solutions against the problems and proper design thinking methodologies can be implemented starting from grade 7 or grade 8 in the education institutions, so the students can come up as a professional, not those people who see the things from the negative sides, but the people who always see the right problem with the right solution, right? So
Thank you
that's
so
it.
much, ma'am. And I think your last point was definitely that educational reforms are the way forward to ensure this greater receptivity of societal change. That leads me to my last question, Mrs. Smith. And sir, I would really like you both to pitch in into this. It's how can educational reforms and also mental health initiatives serve as a catalyst for this societal change specifically? Ma'am, if you want to start us off.
Well, in the history of Pakistan, educational reforms have been many. But when it comes to implementation, they never go through. So it's left to the private sector to take education forward, which they have been doing all this while. Whereas the public sector has just gone down. And there are more than 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh public schools all over Pakistan. And most children in Pakistan go to those public schools. And that is where the reform is needed. I mean, you can bring in an SNC, you can do whatever you like, but unless you upgrade the quality of education for everyone, I mean, it doesn't have to have air-conditioned classrooms and so on, but the teacher has to be a trained teacher, and she has to be motivated and committed to the job. So the teachers have a lot to give towards the progress of children in education. But definitely, educational reforms, when they come in such a piecemeal way. Do a little bit here, do a little bit there, do a little bit there. So that doesn't really have any impact. When it's a whole system reform, then only will we go forward.
I think most of my feedback has been agreement, and nonetheless, because all of these thoughts are just so precise in the kind of change we want to see in our communities and all around us. Sir, as the panelists that we definitively wanted to include to have a diverse voice and know from our allies for women empowerment, how do you think we could try forward this societal change? Please end us off.
Thank you. I think I agree completely with Mrs. Smith-Reyes that the role of the teacher is fundamental to any kind of educational reform. And there is a lot of talk about EdTech solving Pakistan's education crisis. I think if the teacher's role is not fundamental to any EdTech marriage with our educational solutions, it will not work. I've seen schools, what you call underserved schools, or even street schools, excel if the teachers are integrated with their students, if they think about their students, and if their students feel an affinity that here is somebody who cares about me. Because the kind of strength and power that that thought alone gives a child is unthinkable as an imaginer. I still remember the few good teachers that I had at school. I still remember them. They may not, they wouldn't know me, but I still remember those 2 or 3 teachers who made a difference for me. The other thing is, and again, for in the cities we have all kinds of things, but in the villages we did a program, and it was about teaching grade 9 and 10 girls how to write their own stories. So a lot of debate, how this thing should be structured, but I told them that, the way I'm going to run it is tell them their own stories without, going into fiction, learning from, describing their life and what it is. And many girls came up to me and said, so this is the first time we are thinking about ourselves, because their existence was so degraded in the society that they were living in, that they never imagined they could even think about themselves. So if we can teach our girls to think about themselves and create a space for themselves and all kind of other things to aspire for those things, that is going to bring that change which that mental health issues you're discussing.
I still also remember all of the teachers, some of whom are in the audience today, that helped me look for a path forward. And I remember my professor telling me, hope to see you on Wall Street someday, and the kind of motivation that gave me. So thank you everyone for being such an engaged audience. I think the conclusion of this panel discussion is definitely that we should drive for change in our personal spheres and, of course, market for change. Thank you so much.
I would request Mr. Majid Ali Qureshi to join us on stage and present the souvenirs to our guest panelists and our moderator. The panel discussion truly was thought-provoking. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a huge round of applause once again to all the panelists.
As we celebrate this prestigious program, we celebrate not only the accomplishments of women, but also the spirit of unity and empowerment that continues to drive change. We honor the trailblazers who have defied limitations, the innovators who have carved new paths, and the leaders who have inspired progress. In tribute to the divine strength and grace of womanhood, we present Sinfe Ahan. Let's welcome Zoha Asim and Ishal Miraj.
Today we gather to honor and celebrate the lives of remarkable women. Women who shaped history. Women of substance who are no longer with us, yet they paved the way for the future generations. In this tribute, we will hear these extraordinary women voicing messages for a more equitable and progressive world.
They called her delicate, like a thread of silk, like a flickering flame, like a hush before the storm. But silk does not snap, it binds. A flame does not fade, it spreads. And she was never the silence. She was the storm. They cast her in shadows, but she carved light from the dark. They chained her voice, yet it thundered through centuries. She did not break, she did not bow. A mind like lightning, a spirit so clean, the world stood in awe of her dream. Too young, they had said, yet she broke through the sky, coding her way, letting limits defy. Gone too soon, but never erased. She is Urfa Karim, a name of grace.
Dear future generation, as I stand before you, my heart is filled with hope and anticipation. I always believed that technology holds the power to transform the world. And I envision a future where you, the girls of tomorrow, will drive that transformation forward. My dream was to see the rise of an IT city, a hub of innovation where young minds like yours can thrive and redefine. And I hope to pass this passion on to you, for I'm confident that you will carry it forward with strength, determination, and importantly, curiosity.
She touched the untouchable, healed what was spurned. A stranger in land, yet love she discerned. With hands that mended and with eyes that knew, she gave them dignity. She saw them through. She is Dr. Ruth Fow.
My dear girls, I came to Pakistan as a stranger and found a home in serving its people. Never underestimate the power of compassion and service. I'm here to remind you that you are capable of anything. To help the poor is not a favor, it is a responsibility. Your courage, your kindness, and your ability to uphold anyone is extraordinary. So, I know my work is no more than a drop in the ocean, but perhaps this single drop is important and contributes to the change in the world. So, my dear girls, I leave my legacy in your hands to take forward, and let kindness be the last word.
She flew where eagles dare to rise, a warrior carved into the skies. Her wings may rest, but her spirit remains. Flying Officer Maria Mukhtar.
Dear future dreamers, I speak to you from the skies where the sound of my jet drowns out doubt and fear. Up here, the world looks limitless, just as your dreams should be. I was once a young girl who dared to dream of flying. People said it was impossible, that it was a man's world. But I refused to let their words define me. I worked harder, I pushed further, and I proved that a woman can conquer the skies just as fearlessly as any man. The sky is not your limit. I repeat, the sky is not your limit. It is your runway.
Through fire she walked, and the flames learned her name. Through ruin she rose, and the dust could not hold her bones. Through silence she spoke, and the world listened. She is Asma Jangi.
Dear future leaders of Pakistan, I am filled with hope and urgency. Hope because I believe in your potential, and urgency because the challenges we face today demand your action and leadership. Throughout my life, I fought for the rights of the oppressed, the voiceless, and marginalized. I stood firm in the belief that human rights are not a privilege, but a right for all human beings. You too must carry this belief in your heart and use it as a foundation for all the work ahead. Do not turn a blind eye to injustice wherever you see it. Stand up for what is right, even when it is difficult, because the most important thing is to stand up for justice, even when you stand alone.
She wove her words like threads of light, a voice so soft, yet burning bright. Love and sorrow, loss and grace, she etched her soul on time's embrace.
कुछ लोग तुम्हें समझाएंगे, वो तुमको खौफ दिखाएंगे. कुछ लोग तुम्हें समझाएंगे, वो तुमको खौफ दिलाएंगे. जो है वो भी हो सकता है, जो है वो भी हो सकता है. इस राह पे रहसन है इतने, इस राह पे रहसन है इतने. कुछ और यहाँ हो सकता है, ये कुछ और तो अक्सर, कुछ और तो अक्सर. तुम तुम जिस लम्हे में जिंदा हो, तुम जिस लम्हे में जिंदा हो, ये लम्हा तुमसे जिंदा है। ये वक्त नहीं फिर आएगा, ये वक्त नहीं फिर आएगा। तुम अपनी करनी कर गुजरो, तुम अपनी करनी कर गुजरो, जो होगा देखा जाएगा।
Indeed, these words have stirred our soul with grace. They speak with their steps. They weave with their hands. Thunder and whisper, a rhythm untamed. They dance through the ages, unbound, unrestrained. So let the music rise. Let the echoes grow. Let's welcome our living legends to steal the show.
कब से दिल सहमा हुआ था, कब से एक चुप सी लगी थी, बात करने से भी डर लगता था। कब से एक बार समात थी हंसी बच्चों की, दिल को घेरे हुए रहते थे शुकूक व अहाम। दफतन आज ये मगरिब से चली कैसी हवा,
आज मिट्टी से उठा कैसा लहूरेज़ गुबार, आज मिट्टी से उठा कैसा लहूरेज़ गुबार, जा बजा सर को पटकता हुआ दीवाना, शहर के कूचा बाजार में बल खाता हुआ, राहगीरों से लिपटता हुआ चकराता हुआ, बंद दरवाजों पे देता हुआ पागल दस्तक, किसी परचम की तरह शहर पे लहराता
हम बहने हम बेटियां, कौमों की इज्जत हमसे है, कौमों की इज्जत हमसे है। हम आए हम बहने हम बेटियां, कौमों की इज्जत हमसे है, कौमों की इज्जत हमसे है।
What a breathtaking presentation.
Genuinely, I'm still feeling the goosebumps.
This gathering serves as a testament to the unyielding determination of women who have risen against adversity, proving time and again that they are forces of nature, capable, courageous, and unstoppable. It is through their dedication and perseverance that societies thrive, economies flourish, and dreams become realities. Today, we stand together in admiration and gratitude, recognizing the invaluable contributions of women and reaffirming our commitment to a future of equality and opportunity for all. On this memorable moment, I have the honor to invite on stage a woman of strength, resilience, the person who represents courage and motivation, dedication, commitment, and a constant struggle for perfection, Mrs. Nasreen Kasuri. Her entire life is a model of equality and empowerment for women. Mrs. Nasreen Kasuri was recently granted a fellowship by the Education Leaders Forum for her role in transforming Pakistan's education landscape since 1975. We are privileged
We are privileged to welcome Ms. Fatma Kasuri, whose passion has redefined learning in Pakistan. As the CEO of PDLC, Beacon House, Pakistan, she has been at the forefront of educational transformation and empowering minds. A true advocate for progress, she continues to inspire educators and students alike. Let us extend a warm welcome to Ms. Fatma Kasuri, a beacon of knowledge and empowerment.
We also extend a warm welcome to Ms. Sophia Kasuri, a visionary pioneer in early childhood education in Pakistan. As the director of Jambori Play and Music Pakistan, she has transformed early learning, shaping young minds with innovation and excellence. Her dedication to fostering a strong educational foundation for children has made an indelible impact on countless lives. Her contributions continue to redefine the future of education. We also have Roshanara Nasreen Kasuri, daughter of Ms. Amna Bhattu Kasuri and Mr. Nasir Kasuri, who is studying in IBMYP in Beacon House, Newlands, Islamabad. Let's indulge in a conversation with the women who have empowered many others. Ladies and gentlemen, let's witness legacy and leadership, a roundtable with Mrs. Nasreen Kasuri.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum everyone. So, we often have conversations about education, leadership, and family among ourselves. But this time, we will discuss everything with you guys, in front of you guys. No moderators, no scripts, just some real talk. Assalamu alaikum, Ammi. So my first question to you is, when you first began this journey, did you ever imagine that Beacon House would become what it is today?
No, that's a question, Beta, that I have been asked very often. And no, I didn't. I'll be quite candid about it. When I started Les Anges, and I had two naughty boys, Ali and Qasim were students there, and then Nasir came along. For me, it's like a hobby. It was great fun, actually, because I would go to school with my children. I would come home with my children. It was in my grandmother's house. My grandmother used to pamper us with all sorts of goodies she would send us to eat. And all the children, almost all, not all the children at Les Anges, and 19, there were 19, two of them were my own boys. So 17 others were children of my friends. So they would come and pick up their children and drop their children, and we would have a cup of tea and coffee and chat, and it was great fun. And it was great fun. I didn't think it would be this today. So no, I did not look upon what has become today. It was something which grew. It was a very demand-driven growth. It was something, I felt that I couldn't resist the need and the demand. And I was, I think I have obviously narrated this very often, that when I started Les Anges in 1975, the government had only in 1973 nationalized schools. And when I started going out and I was looking for properties in which to start the school, everybody refused me. Everybody refused me because they said कि schools तो nationalize हो जाते हैं, और 73 में nationalize हुए तो हमारे लोगों की properties भी साथ nationalize हो गई थी. So I couldn't find a property. That's why my grandmother, looking at my desperation, offered me the upstairs portion of her house. And she was an old lady, and she didn't understand what nationalization was and what danger she might be. And she was just looking at helping her granddaughter. So I started this upstairs, which is not quite appropriate because these were little children, like 2-3-year-olds, and for them to climb up the stairs and down was not very convenient. But then there it was. It started, and Beacon House started then in 78, which is when the government gave permission for schools to for classes beyond kindergarten to come into the private sector. So that's how it started, and just kept growing. There was a demand. There was so much demand. There were so many people who were without schools. And believe me, when we opened admissions to Beacon House in April of 78, a lot of students who came and applied for admissions were students who had not gone to school for like 2 years, 3 years. They were sitting at home because they had no school seats to go to.
So, Monanti, when you talk about your early years at Beacon House and at Les Anges, you talk about your team a lot, your team that you started with, your work family. We often talk about the support system we have with our regular family, but we hardly talk about our work family. So I wanted to ask you about your team and how they were your support system.
I don't know whether I should flatter myself or just say that I'm lucky. I suppose it's a bit of both, but I had a very good team. One or two of them are here today, and I'm delighted that they are here and they've been invited. And when I see them, I remember little anecdotes. Maybe if I have the opportunity, I might narrate one or two of those anecdotes. But I had a good team. I had a very good team. They were all dedicated. They were committed. They had a certain loyalty to Beacon House, and they worked with passion and with love. So team was good. And then again, whether it's luck or what it is, but I had a supportive family in the sense that my husband, I mean, he had a vested interest because he thought he was in politics, and politics has no holidays. It's like 7 days a week and 12 hours a day type of thing. So he was very happy that I was busy and not nagging him. So he didn't bother me at all. So I was okay. And surprisingly, the women in my family were a little unhappy with my working because they felt that my children would get neglected, and I would I would spend too much time with my work and the children would get neglected. So my grandmother and my mother used to constantly nag me that your children you don't give your children enough time. So that was it. Sophia?
But I'm sure your team members face the same issues in their homes. All of you started with very young children. They were all under 10. And all of you started working in teaching and were working full time. So for each other, you must have been a great support system.
Oh, yes. I mean, we were all supportive of each other, obviously. We were all at that stage where our children were young, and we all had, the children had needs. They had to be dropped to school and picked up from school, and they had homeworks and they had exams. And then, of course, children do tend to fall sick also. And, so because we were all young mothers, we sort of sympathize with each other. There was a sense of sympathy and bonding, and we all had similar issues. So that was also a great thing. And then I was friends with my with all the people who work my team. I was friends with them. We used to sit and share jokes. We used to enjoy ourselves. And I don't know if there's anybody here today who would remember that. Tehmina, were you ever at Les Anges? Tehmina, were you at Les Anges? You were, weren't you, when Miss Mirza was there? And do you remember Noorjahan bringing goodies for us to eat? You don't remember that? Noorjahan's children were at Les Anges, And she used to quite often bring nahari and things like that to Les Anges, and we all used to enjoy that. It was it was fun. It was fun.
Roshan?
Is Roshan?
Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. My name is Roshanara.
Hello, Roshanara.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm
Do
good.
you want me to stand up and look at you? And are you
Well,
supposed to ask me something, or should I ask you?
I'm supposed to ask you something.
Okay, what are you supposed to ask?
Okay, so Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. My name is Roshana Nasreen Kasuri, and my first question for you is, if we could talk to the younger version of ourselves, what's one piece of advice we would give? You would give?
What piece of advice would I give to all the younger people, or just the girls, or the boys also? Everyone?
All of that, just any piece of
Everyone.
advice.
My piece of advice is that enjoy doing what you enjoy. Enjoy your work. Don't do it with, don't do it grudgingly. Be happy that you are busy working. I've always felt happy that I'm busy and I have work to do. And I say that, my work is my sanity. So I would advise everybody to be happy in doing whatever they are doing and to enjoy their work. So that will give them great happiness. Yeah? More questions?
Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you for your response. My next question is, what do you hope to see in the next 10 to 20 years for women education and leadership?
Look, women are breaking the bonds. Women are now coming forward to work. And believe it or not, but my generation just went to college and did their BA because it was fashionable to do your BA. But now, people are thinking very seriously of careers, and they're doing they're designing, or they're looking at their education in terms of a career. So I want them to have serious careers, and they should look at their strengths, and they should choose a career according to their strength, and have careers that they will enjoy. Not to have a career that like I don't want to offend anyone, but sometimes fathers who are doctors will force their children into becoming doctors, and fathers who are lawyers will force their children to become lawyers. So you should look at your own strength and what you enjoy doing, and go in for that career.
Okay. Thank you so much. Over to Sophie Chachi.
Over to Sophia Chachi. That's all. But you have to tell everyone that you love Dadi so much.
I love my Dadi a lot.
Love Dadi. Okay.
She's a great role model.
Thank you. Gee, Sophia Chachi.
No, Fatma Tai.
Fatma Tai, yeah.
Okay, so now, Ami, we're going to have a rapid fire round.
Allah.
Just 5 questions.
Just 5.
Just 5 questions, yeah. Okay, so the first question is, describe women in leadership in one word.
I read it before I came here, and I kept thinking, I thought of several different words, but the one which I feel meets that thing is courage.
Okay. Second question is, what's one strength all women should embrace?
Resilience and multitasking. Women have to multitask. They have to multitask. Even if you're not married and you don't have children, you still have to multitask. So that's something that they need to.
What's one thing people assume about you, but it's not true?
Look, that's a very unfair question for a daughter-in-law to ask, because whatever I say, she's going to sort of look at everybody and shake her head. But I think, and then of course, I have some of my male colleagues sitting here who are going to sort of roll their eyes, but everybody seems to think I'm a bully, and I'm not.
Okay, next one is interesting. If you had a chance to switch jobs for a day with someone at Beacon House, who would it be and why?
You know, the chair that I sit on, the only thing comes to me is a problem. And it's always a problem, and it's always unpleasant, and it has always to do with some outside authority. Believe it or not, the tax people quite often, the government, the agencies and all that. And when they can't find an answer, then they come to me and they think that I'll find the answer for them. So that's not a particularly nice chair to sit on. But I would like to get back into education. If I had to switch one day with someone, I would sit at Faria.
Okay, if you had to start Beacon House again, what would you do differently?
With all that I know today, a lot of things. But the point is that when I started, it really was the best option. Now that I go back and I think about it, it wasn't really that good, but it was the best. And obviously, if I start a school, not Beacon House. I will start a school. There are a lot of things I would do differently. And now, of course, there is technology. There's so much technology. When I started, there was no technology. There was no technology. I mean, the first computer that I brought into my school, उसका नाम मुझे भूल गया है. कासिम, तुम्हें याद है that small computer that Mrs. Maureen used to handle? Commodore. So I used to have a secretary by the name of Maureen. She was British. She loved her food, but I'm sure most of you remember Maureen, don't you? Yeah, you remember Maureen. Of course you do. You all of you would remember Maureen, and I brought the first computer, and the way these people are designed, the Goras. She sat and she went through all the booklet, how to operate the computer. Nobody came and taught her. She learned how to operate it on her own. And who do you think sat next to her every day after school? It was one Qasim Kasuri. He would come back from school and he will go and sit there next to Maureen, and he would be playing with the computer and handling her computer and learning how to use the computer. And so that was it. It was where things were much simpler. Life was so much simpler. I feel so inadequate now with all the technology that is there. And now with AI coming in, I feel scared. I feel scared because I don't know what AI will do or can do, or whether it's good for us or bad for us. I don't want to make any sweeping statements because I don't know enough.
Okay, one last question. What is one thing you admire about men who support women?
What is the one thing that I admire about them? These are feminists, right? These men who support women. I suppose their sense of equality. They don't have any gender prejudice. That's something that they're not insecure. Men who support women, who support their wives and their daughters, are men who are not insecure. By and large, men who don't support their wives or their daughters and all that are insecure because they're afraid that they'll be outdone by their wives, or they feel to keep them in their place, type of thing. So I suppose there's sense of confidence.
Thank you. Sophia, over to you.
So, Monanti, going by that, the number of women that have been part of your organization and given decades of dedication to Beacon House, what was that secret?
Sorry, say that again, Sophia.
You have a lot of women who've worked with you and given you decades and decades at Beacon House. How did you do that? What was your secret?
Because they didn't work for me, they worked with me. And, we were all friends. We were friends. We shared jokes and we shared stories and we sat and shared our domestic issues and all those things. It was, they were like a family. And I know one or two people who, somebody, I won't take her name, she left because she got a better salary, much better actually. And 6 months later, she was begging to come back. And I was very angry with her for leaving. And I said, no, I'm not going to take her back. And she came crying and she said, I just feel like I've left my family. I don't care. I want to come back. If you don't let me come back, I'll just come and sit in the office. I said, okay.
In the earlier panel, they were talking about how education brings about a lot of change. What do you feel? You have played every role in Beacon House. You've been a teacher, you've been a principal, now you're the chairperson. What role do you think education plays, and what role do you think family plays in a child's life to change mindsets?
You see, as far as schools are concerned, education rather, not schools, education, whether it's tertiary or school education, that is so important that I really can't overstate its importance. Without education, you're not really human. You're like, without education, you don't have a framework. So education is extremely important. I would put it at the top of the pyramid. Unfortunately, in Pakistan, is somewhere at the bottom. But the point is that it's something which, as far as family is concerned, family is about culture. It's about upbringing. It's about a lot of things which, which maybe school can't necessarily teach you. You'll, in a family, the way your parents behave, the way your siblings behave, you have a situation where if the parents are constantly using foul language, the children will learn to use that language. If the parents are treating the girls as lesser beings, the boys will learn to do that also. So you see, all those things, all those attitudes you learn at home. And the school teaches you a lot, but school is what, 180 days a year, 5-6 hours a day. The rest of the time you're home. So the school tells you to brush your teeth, but doesn't make you brush your teeth. So that they do at home, and the school tells you that you must take a shower every morning and you must be clean, but then they do it at home. So those are things. You see, the culture, the culture of a child is at home. I mean, up to a level, of course, a school will does that. But what's ringing, by the way? Things ring. Anyway, the culture, the mental culture is very important. The problem in our country is that we've picked up the worst of the subcontinental culture, because we were part of the subcontinent and living with many other, religions. We've picked up the worst of that and the worst of the Islamic culture, and we've combined it into a Pakistani culture, which is not very pleasant. So we need to change our culture. We need to change our mindset, the way we think, and women, about women and about everyone. everyone working, and it's the thinking that needs to change, which is which is not changing. If it comes to, like we were talking about environment, the theme for our 50th year is environment, and environment is not all about what the government can do. The government will do or should do, hopefully, whatever they will. But each one of us has a duty towards the environment. And we must all do what we can, and we can do something for the environment, and we must all contribute towards that.
Roshanara?
Okay, so at the end of the day, we all are standing on the shoulders of the women before us. And today is about honoring them while ensuring we leave something even better for the next generation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Roshanara. Thank you. Okay. Okay, Ji. One of these days, I'm going to come here to Liberty Campus with my 4 granddaughters. I have to get all 4 of them together. But let me say this, and this is one of my favorite campuses, because as I walked in, I was telling Ali that this is one of the campuses जो मैंने खड़े होके बनवाया है. मैंने लिटरली खड़े होके बनवाया है ये कैंपस, और ये नैयर अली दादा का डिज़ाइन किया हुआ कैंपस है. एंड when it was nearing completion, I didn't like the look of it, and I went to Nayyar and I said, Nayyar, वो अच्छा नहीं लग रहा. It's really not looking very attractive. He said, अच्छा नहीं लग रहा. मैंने कहा हाँ नहीं. अच्छा इधर आओ. मैंने कहा अच्छा क्या? And he made all these arches. And the person who was helping me build this campus, Zahid, said कि ये आपने क्या मुसीबत डाल दी है. अब मुझे फिर से shuttering लगानी पड़ेगी. But the arches were added later because the campus it wasn't looking that good. It finished at the 11th hour. It was the night before the campus, the students were supposed to come in. There was a lot of rain, and one didn't know, and they were still sort of plastering the floor and everything. But it happened. It came in, and I'm very fond of Liberty Campus.
When I were also sent here for cooking classes, you remember?
Yeah, I remember we took French cooking classes here.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's still there, but I remember I made a very fancy kitchen, and we invited the parents to see that kitchen, and we thought they'd all be very happy. You never know how people think. And one of the fathers, I heard him saying in Punjabi, कि भी इस किचन ने ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਿਖਾੜ ਕੇ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰਾਂ 'ਚ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਖਾਣਾ ਪਕਾਣ. I never thought of it like that. He thought that girls who are taught in that fancy kitchen will never be able to cook in their home kitchens. Yes, and you'll have some parent make a similar comment. A similar comment. They feel if our girls learn to cook in this kitchen, how will they cook at home? Anyway, but once you renovate it, I have to come and see it. I have to go. I did the kitchen, and I also made the gym for the gym. The hall for the gym. Is it still there? Because we used to have an American girl who used to come and do gym for the girls. We used to gymnastics. No. So you do have. Yeah, because I know I made that that gym was done for the girls also to get them. You do? Chalo, but one of these days I'll come and take a look at it, and I'd love to do that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're most welcome.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your truly inspiring words. and for gracing us with your wisdom today. Your insights have not only enlightened us, but have also sparked a renewed sense of purpose and determination in all of us. The passion with which you spoke today about the power of education and the transformative role women play in shaping a brighter future has left a lasting impression. May I request Ms. Sofia Kasuri and Ms. Fatma Kasuri to remain with us for a few moments as we present the souvenirs to them. I will also request Mr. Majid Ali Qureshi to join us along with Mrs. Nasreen Kasuri to present these souvenirs to Ms. Fatma and Ms. Sofia Kasuri. And for Jahanara, we'll send it to you. Don't worry. Mr. Majid and Mrs. Kasuri, would you please remain on stage as we are about to begin with the award ceremony? And thank you so much, Ms. Sofia Kasuri and Ms. Fatma Kasuri, for gracing the stage. This event is more than a celebration. Let it be a catalyst for change, a moment of reflection, and a beacon of hope. As we listen to the stories of inspiring women, engage in meaningful discussions, and honor their achievements, may we also commit to fostering a world where every woman is empowered to reach her fullest potential. Now it's time to award those women who have lived their lives as examples of equality and empowerment for everyone. Allow me to introduce judges for Nasreen Kasuri Women of Excellence Awards. Our first judge, Ms. Farida Shahid, is a seasoned educationist. She started her career as an English teacher and has also worked as a regional academic manager. We welcome you here, ma'am. Our second judge is Ms. Azra Mujib, a seasoned educator with 32 years of experience at Beacon House. She has shaped its foundation with Mrs. Kasuri. We welcome you here, ma'am. Last, but definitely not the least, Ms. Zarina Sadiq, who has been in the education sector for many years and has worked under various key positions.
Celebrating our educators, leaders, and custodial staff. Education is not just about lessons and books. It is about shaping hearts, nurturing minds, and leading by example. Our female educators, leaders, and custodial staff have worked tirelessly not only to impart knowledge, but to create a nurturing environment where dreams take flight. The first category we have is the female educators. The nominations for the female educators are Ms. Sidra Taleb, BCP Campus, Ukara. Ms. Memuna Ali, Wabra Town Campus, Lahore. Ms. Kiran Rana, Can Campus, Multan. Ms. Munazza Yusuf, Gojra Campus. And lastly, Ms. Sana R. Malik, Newlands, Lahore. Ma'am, could you please kindly announce the winner? The anticipation is real.
Now it's working? Okay, now there is a school community, female educators. Winner is Memuna Ali, Wapta Town Campus. Rights, equality, and
Congratulations, Miss Maimoona Ali. Ladies and gentlemen, give them a huge round of applause.
Ms. Maimoona Ali is selected for this award due to her exceptional leadership in launching the Global Connect initiative at BSS Wabra Town campus, which has successfully connected schools across 14 countries, fostering global collaboration, cultural exchange, and digital innovation.
Congratulations once again.
Now we will award the Honorable School Heads, and the nominees are Ms. Maliha Khwaja, HM, Walton Campus, Lahore. Ms. Sumaya Zohaib, School Head, Leo's Workshop. Ma'am, could you please do the honors?
Okay, the winner is Sumaya Zohaib.
And there you have it. Congratulations to our deserving winner. Congratulations, Ms. Sumaya Zohaib.
Ms. Sumaya Zohaib has been honored for this award due to her innovative approach through Jugnu, the Enlightened Learners, a social enterprise that empowers underserved communities by reimagining literacy education. Congratulations, Ms. Next, we have the custodian staff, and the nominees are Ms. Razia Shaukat, LMA 72L, Model Town, Lahore. Ms. Nasreen Aslam, LMA 6E, Gulberg, Lahore. Ms. Naseem Aslam, Liberty Campus, Lahore. Ishad Bibi, Walton Campus, Lahore. The runners-up for this category is Ms. Irshad Bibi, Walton Campus, Lahore. Please give her a huge round of applause. Now, ma'am, could you please have the winner?
School community custodian staff is Naseem Aslam, Liberty Campus.
Congratulations, Ms. Naseem Aslam.
Ms. Naseem Aslam has been recognized for this award because of her unwavering dedication, support, and hard work she has put in for more than 2 decades in Beacon House Liberty Campus. She was amongst the pioneer team for the food lab operations. She has been an integral part of CAIE process in food practicals and examinations. Congratulations.
I honestly remember her, seeing her since my childhood, and it's great getting her to see this achievement. Honoring mothers and guardians from our parent community. A mother's love, a guardian's care, they are the silent architects of resilience and hope. Their sacrifices, strength, and unconditional love shape the leaders for tomorrow. And we express our gratitude to these remarkable women. The nominees for this category are Komal Masood, Newlands, Lahore; Amara Khan, TNS Defense Campus, Lahore; Rabia Kader, Askari 10 Campus, Lahore; Faiza Shehzad, Girls Campus Sahiwal, Anam Rehan, TNS Gulberg Campus Lahore, and Dr. Beenish Noman, Girls Campus Johor Town Lahore. Ma'am, could you please announce the winner?
The moment we've all been waiting
The
for.
winner is Amara Khan.
Congratulations, Miss Amara. Ladies and gentlemen,
Is Ms. Amara Khan here?
we would
Could we
request
please,
their principal to please join us on stage and receive an award on her behalf.
Ms. Amara Khan is chosen for this award because of her unwavering commitment to improving public health and education for underprivileged communities, particularly in Pakistan, where she has led large-scale nutrition and food security programs with WFP and UNICEF benefiting over 1.5 million mothers and children. A huge round of applause.
That's a huge achievement. Recognizing inspiring female students and alumni. They are the dreamers, the achievers, and the change makers of tomorrow. Our inspiring female students and distinguished alumni embody perseverance, brilliance, and the courage to forge new paths. Starting with the current students, the nominees are Rania Haroon, TNS Defense Campus, Lahore; Zainab Ahmed, Palm Tree Campus, Gujranwala; Ishal Shaukat, Girls Campus, Canal, Faisalabad; Hadia Iftikhar, BCB Campus, BCB Liberty Campus, Lahore; Anaya Kadir, Homebridge; Shazir Bashir Tarar, TNS Defense Campus, Lahore; and lastly, Meera Basim, Palm Tree Campus, Gujranwala. The competition has been fierce, but only one nominee can take home the trophy. Who will it be?
I think it will be Zainab Ahmed, Palm Tree Campus.
Congratulations, Zainab. You have certainly earned this recognition.
Do we have Zainab Ahmed here? I would request the head of Gujranwala campus to please come on the stage and receive the award on her behalf.
I think she is also not here.
All
Sure,
right, then sure,
if you want to come.
Please grace the stage.
Who's that?
Zainab Ahmed is nominated for a remarkable commitment to environmental sustainability. She initiated a school-wide recycling program, organized cleanup drives, and created a student-led sustainability club, significantly reducing waste and raising awareness about climate change. Last but certainly not least, our last category is for the alumni, and the nominees are Amna Awan, Gordon Town Campus, Lahore; Sabine Rizvi, Liberty Campus, Lahore. Yes, Miss, can we please have the winner?
Yes, we just have to
Yes,
win
you
them.
Okay, the winner is Amna Awan, Garden Town Campus.
Ladies and gentlemen, please have a huge round of applause for Amna Awan.
Amna Awan has led a transformative financial literacy initiative for BISP beneficiaries, addressing deep-rooted challenges such as illiteracy, digital inaccessibility, and bureaucratic hurdles. Despite political and institutional changes, she has successfully piloted a training program that empowered marginalized women with critical financial skills.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me here. But I want to make a brief announcement so that Ali Khan doesn't say that he forgot. And there are lots of witnesses to that announcement, that about 3 years ago, when my friend Asma Jahangir died, I had announced a scholarship in her name. That scholarship I don't think has been given yet. So we must please her daughters were here and we had a regular ceremony here. I don't know, Tahmina, if you were the head, but were you the head at that time? Yeah. So please make sure that that scholarship is now instituted as of next year. That, okay?
I would request Mr. Majid Ali Qureshi alongside Ms. Kamal Babar Malik, DGM Educational Operations, to present a small token of love and gratitude to Mrs. Nasreen Kasuri. It is a book containing handwritten messages by the members of Beacon House family. Thank you, ma'am, for gracing us with your presence. Let us applaud these phenomenal women who constantly inspire, lead, and illuminate the world with their presence. We champion the dreams of young girls, support the ambitions of women in all fields, and break down barriers that hinder progress. As this remarkable occasion draws to a close, please join me in welcoming Mr. Majid Ali Qureshi, Regional Director of Beacon House, to say a few words.
Dearest ma'am, Qasim Saab, Ms. Fatma, Ms. Sophia, COO, dear guests, nominees, colleagues from the head office, faculty members, and our school heads, Assalamu alaikum once again. Well, I'm here to, say thank you to a few people. I'll start with you, ma'am. I'll say that thank you for taking the first step all those years back, and it resulted into the Beacon House that we know and much more, mashallah. You basically showed that what all can be achieved when one woman dares to dream. Yes, we all admire that. I like to say thank you to BLL, this particular school, for starting all of this. They used to have this event many years back, and now it's scaled to the regional level. And in fact, all the 3 regions are having it simultaneously. So thank you very much there. A quick thank you to the organizers, Ms. Kaval, your team, Ms. Sonia, everybody who's involved. A great show. A lot of hard work has gone into it. And in the end, a quick thank you to all the, although they're heavily outnumbered, to all the men in the hall and in journal for supporting all the women that they have in their lives, be it the workspace or at home. On a serious note, they say it takes 2 to tango. The sooner we believe in that, the better. Let's work together. Let's try and give these options to all the women in Pakistan. They certainly deserve that. Thank you very much once again for being here. Thank you.
Heartfelt gratitude to you, sir. Thank you for your encouragement and support. Together, we can create a legacy of strength, respect, and boundless possibilities. On this International Women's Day, we celebrate not just the past and the present, but also the future of women, one filled with even greater triumphs, opportunities, and breakthroughs. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today.